I am slowly but surely making my way toward getting through all these roguelikes that I've been doing for you guys. And today I've basically got Drakefire Chasm. So, Drakefire Chasm. A 7-day roguelike made by Tempy in the 70-year-old challenge of 2012 and updated thereafter. It's actually on Ixdio that I may see downloading this from, by the way. But whatever. About the game. You play as a freshly born wormling dragon, a D, trying to survive and prosper in Drakefire Chasm. Eat lesser beings, hoard riches, defeat your foes, and finally become a great worm, the most terrifying and noblest of the creatures. Your goal on each level is to get your satiation level up to 100% by eating the corpses of your enemies. Once fully satiated, enter the tunnel to continue on to the next level. Gather gems and coins, all picked when you move on them, increase your score. Your dragon ages when entering a new level, gaining bonuses to attributes, more health, and new abilities. Alright, so there's the keys. Basically, you have the V keys or numpad keys. Arrow keys work for cardinal directions as well. We basically have directions and stuff, I guess. So walk mode. That's basically lets you walk until you see something. 1 to use your abilities. E or create a sign to basically eat a corpse when you're basically on top of it or enter a tunnel. On the entrance. X to examine. A to show the ability screen. O or R for the dragon orb screen. Other stuff basically. So here's a full screen mode. That's good to basically see. So I wonder if we have 1920 by 1080 on here or not. Alright, so tips on survival. Eating corpses heals you. Each enemy drops a corpse upon death. Usually hidden under a treasure it dropped as well. Try to avoid open areas. Enemies come in 3 categories: tough, agile, and cunning. The effectiveness of your abilities against an enemy depends on how effective the ability type. Strength, stamina, or will is against the enemy type. You are what you eat. You gain an extra +1 in 1 attribute when aging, determined by the enemy category you ate the most of on the level. All abilities scale with your respective attribute, and many with your age as well. Do more damage and covering a larger area. So basically, the idea of this game is basically like an eating game where you're the dragon, where as opposed to the adventure basically fighting dragon, you're basically the dragon itself fighting the adventures. So let's just show it off then. And there we go. And you know what? Let's just keep it safe. We're just gonna go in here. We'll change this to window mode. Maybe this works without having to do this, but just in case, we're just gonna do this. And there we go, that's good enough. Alright, so here is Drakefire Chasm. By 2012, 70RL. It's been updated to version 1.3.4. So, I'll note basically at the start of the game here, you basically choose your dragon type. I don't believe that all these dragons are basically in the original 70RL, but the game's been updated several times before, since then, so whatever. So here's the red dragon. Red dragons breathe fire, are not harmed by lava, and gain +1 to stamina. Green dragons breathe poison and gain +1 to will. Blue dragons breathe lightning and gain +1 to strength. Black dragons breathe acid and move at normal speed in water. And white dragons breathe frost and move at normal speed on ice. So basically you've got a bunch of dragons here. Red to white. I guess blue and probably green have more dangerous breath as opposed to mobility on their side. So red can basically go through lava without much issue. White can basically move at normal speed on ice. Black basically can move through water at normal speed, so that's nice. But these guys probably are better for damage wise. So let's go with green dragon. Now, the idea here is these different weapon types. Basically, you have your traditional cone, where it basically splits your damage in a cone and deals medium damage in medium area. But you also have ball, which is basically you throw a ball of poison at a large area for low damage, or a line. So you deal a lot of poison that deals high damage in a small area. So this is where like the idea of like you want to basically be in a tight area by the way because like it helps you basically like do more damage that way. Now I wonder if I should probably go for a ball poison by the way because essentially my dragon here he's basically going to be able to like do like a ball. Well he's going to be doing like poison damage over time, right? So there's that. All right, so over here we got ourselves an under cave bear. We have an under giant rat. Alright, so basically the idea of like this game is like, you basically fight these guys. So you have walk, examine, eat, enter, orbs, quit, full screen, all that stuff. Basically down here, you basically see like, we have like, our breath, we have like our other abilities that we'll eventually get. Basically you can see what type of like dragon we basically are. We're basically a little wormling, so we're like the youngest of dragons. We have health, we have citation, we have strength, stamina, will. So a little bit more because we're a green dragon. So let's just go with a breath attack. And it's pretty much just like, a little ball like this, so nothing too snazzy just yet. Now I think things are possibly able to see me before like, they get too close, but whatever. Let's just go like this. That's too far. Alright, so there we go. The cave bear is slightly injured by the poisonous gas. So hopefully that damages him. You claw this cave bear and severely wounded. The cave bear rends you. So yeah, note that I don't have a whole lot of like, HP on this character, but whatever. We're just gonna fight these guys here. Oh, I'm in a bad place. I'm actually, not properly. Well, that's unfortunate. You call a giant rat and mildly wounded. Giant rat bad, she didn't die. So, I know basically this is a game where, it's very like, touch and go at the beginning because you basically don't have a whole lot of power just yet. So, we'll go for a new game here. That was basically the green dragon. I'm sorry for a blue one. Let's go for cone maybe this time. And note by the way, when I basically like, start the game here, like everything like changes in color. So now we're like a blue dragon as opposed to like, the other dragon type. And also note that we basically have under earth gnomes. So we have gnomes facing to fight this time around. Gnomes, by the way, I think are like ranged characters, so have to watch out for that, but whatever. Let's go up here. And oh, is that my breath attack? Is this like a little bit like in this direction? Okay, let's these guys go like closer then. So killer. Yeah, I can see like the earth gnome basically throws globs of mud at me, so that's basically their idea of like, operation. So let's eat this, get a little bit stronger. Alright, so I don't have a whole lot of range basically on my like, breath attack, so I have to watch out for that. Strong meat apparently, so we're eating lots of strong meat, which is good for our strength. Alright, so note that my satiation is basically up to 50% here. So basically as like we like, survive here, we'll basically get stronger and stronger. So we kill this guy. That guy is basically tough meat. No. So apparently that's basically like, lava. So lava is basically like a dash basically. And yeah, these guys will like run away from me if they get the chance to, so that's a thing. Let's just walk this way for now. Oh, we died to mud. So that's like, something to watch out for basically, like, gnomes can basically like, really ruin your day because like they just like, keep like throwing mud at you like crazy, so that's a thing. So far 2 dragons of Drakefire Chasm. Let's try a new game here. So let's go for. So I'll note that red is basically the go-to dragon because basically you can walk through lava like much issue. But let's go with maybe a black dragon this time around. We'll go with like a line attack. I think the line attack base is a little bit more line-ish, but you know, we'll see. We'll kill this guy. I'm gonna leave that corpse there for a moment. There's nothing here, so whatever, let's just eat it then. We're just gonna eat all the corpses we find this time around, I think, just to try and keep our HP up. Eat that. Kill you. There we go, we'll kill you. Got a little bit injured there, but while we're still alive. And yeah, note that when I'm basically eating like the gnomes, I get like inspiring like, you know, meat. When I eat like the, you know, the rats are basically like just tough meat. Same like the bears. Basically, early on, I'm just gonna get like lots of tough meat to like, sort of like, you know, help me out. There's some more tough meat. Wow, that was like, you know, rats are sucky to fight. Some like gold and stuff to pick up for score. Note that my citation is basically up to a maximum, so I really don't need to fight these guys anymore. I could just run away. Oh, I'm too full to eat right now, so instead of getting killed, let's just run away from these cave bears and just be done with it. Alright, so there we go. So basically once you make a fruit to like the next like, you know, screen here, you can basically see we can basically like, sort of upgrade our breath for attacks and stuff like that, so breath, basically breeze, acid, and a focus line, range of 2, age, so basically range based on your age, so more age you have, the better basic gets. More stamina you basically have, the like better it gets. It's effective against agile enemies, my attack apparently. So that's good to know. We have Acid Splash over there, so throws a glob of acid, blinds the target for 2 turns. Range 2, age, so that's basically blinds enemies and go against tough enemies. And we have Rake, which is basically upgrades the claw, the melee bump attack to Rake. Increases its damage and attack speed by 10%, effective against cutting enemies, so its damage and attack speed by 10%. Well, I guess we'll just go with Rake because I like the idea of having passes as opposed to like, you know, short cooldown stuff. So let's get Rake. Alright, now note by the way as well. Basically you can see like, you know, down here we basically have like points. Shows how many points we basically have to expend. You basically see what age we're going to be right over here. How much gold we basically picked up if like, you know, we picked up gold. So hurry for that. Let's just exit and keep going. Alright, we're in an icy cave now. So I'm basically an acid dragon, not really good for ice, but whatever, it's fine. We want this guy to get closer to me, right? So do that, we'll kill him. By the way, note that my HP is basically up to 60 now, so as we like get like, you know, stronger, we basically can, you know, get more HP to like work with. So now you have like, you know, a lot more HP basically to work with. Alright, we got our valuables from this like corpse here. Let's just eat this. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff basically to fight, so eat that corpse right there. There we go, we'll get a little bit stronger. Note that basically I think these enemies, there's sort of damage basically scales as you get stronger, so you do get stronger as you go along here, but at the same time, these guys will also, like, you know, get stronger as well. And yeah, not that they can walk through water, these guys as well, but, you know, that's a given. Let's kill off this guy. Situation at 80%, not bad. We'll look for some money now. The ice feels slippery, but, you know, whatever. Easily swim through water. There we go, eat that giant rat. Very interesting dungeon layout this time around. Alright, so I'm basically full. So I guess we kill everything on this level this time, so that's cool. And I'll look for us like walking like, you know, into a direction, basically and walk like under if I want to do that sort of way. Alright, so we basically made it through like another level there. We're now like, you know, young dragon as opposed to like, you know, a very young dragon. So I could get deep breath. As 2 range tiered breath, increases the damage of breath by 8%. We also have bite over here. A powerful melee attack. If killed, the target is eaten, healing you for 29% of your maximum health. So effectively against cutting enemies. There's magic resistance over here, so basically like, you know, you ignore damage from each like non-physical attack. Let's get ourselves deep breath, so I can basically like have more range my attack, so I can actually start using it like effectively. So I really like this idea of like a game because like, you know, it's basically all about like, you know, being like the enemy as opposed to like being the hero. And like, you know, most games basically like you play, you never really get to see like, you know, what it's like basically like in the dungeon itself, but you know, this does a really good job, I think, of showing off like, you know, what it'd be like to be like the dragon, so to speak. Let's kill off those guys. I do have a little bit of range at this point, so I got this going for me. Okay, we got rid of both those guys. I'll leave their corpses there for a moment. I don't need to kill them or like eat them. Yeah, the Earth Gnomes are easily like the worst thing to basically fight in this game, but whatever. This is kill those. Alright, I think that's basically the level, so there's no more gold bits to pick up. Let's just eat this. Eat that. Strong meat. And we're off. Alright, so we're now a juvenile dragon. So I could get bite, I could get magic resistance, I could get acid splash. So I note that the breath is basically good against like, you know, agile enemies. The rake is basically good against like cutting enemies. Bite is good against cutting enemies. And it's good for healing ourselves, so let's get that for that reason. Now, I'll note that as you go along here, basically see something basically happens. So, an adventure wakes you up in your lair. So, this is basically our first like sort of boss fight. And we're basically going to be fighting against ourselves an uninjured barbarian. So, basically there's basically like, you know, an enemy to fight. Let's begin. Alright, so, the barbarian is slightly injured by the acid fluids. The barbarian intercepts you. So, he cleaves me. The battle begins. Alright, now, note that you basically kill off this like adventure here. You eat the barbarian corpse, tough meat. You feel fully satiated. Boop! So basically, like, the barbarian is like, he's like, our first like sort of boss encounter. Now, I will note by the way, this possibly could have like different types of like bosses pop up. You could have like a Death Knight pop up, you could have like a mage pop up. But we got ourselves basically a barbarian, which is like, not too bad to fight. So here's Devour. Bite does an extra amount of acid damage, makes Bite more effective against agile enemies, so... something that's very good against, like, cunning enemies and, like, agile enemies, so... Let's get this. So, weakens abilities of visible enemies by 10%. Hardened Scales. You ignore damage from each physical attack. I'll probably get Frightful Presence next or something like that, we'll see. So, onward. Now, note that once we basically get to this like part of the game where I'm a young adult, now I'll basically have like adventures pop up every so often basically to fight. Like there's an adventure basically over there. So, this is basically an uninjured warlock. So that signs basically a warlock. He's actually a spellcaster. Yep, and there he goes. He fires a chaos bolt at me. And behind him is another adventure. There's an uninjured mage. So we got a couple spellcasters basically to deal with here. This will not be fun. So he casts Shadow Bolt on me. Alright, so there we go. The warlock is killed by the acid fluids. The mage is killed by the acid fluids. So awesome, we killed them both. Now I can pick up both their treasures. Oh, we got some more signs here. So over there is basically a priest. So he basically casts like, holy bolts and stuff like that on me. So that'll be fun. So we just killed the, the priest. There's a rogue apparently around me as well. Note that they, the priest basically healed up the rogue there. Let's kill you then. We're just gonna eat a corpse just in case. There we go. Full health. This guy is basically a shaman, so we got ourselves a shaman now to fight. And of course more priests, because why not? So this is strong meat, the shaman. Now note because I'm basically like a, I easily swim through the water here, so we're just gonna go easy through these guys. So that's inspiring me apparently to bastard. And you can see like where like my line basically attacks are really powerful against like these like single targets like this. I'll note the idea of like the different breath attacks by the way. Basically like your like line breath attacks basically like a a sort of like single target type of killer. The cone is basically more like a spread, and like the ball is basically like just like flat out do damage to everything. And apparently I'm full on like my stuff here, so that's cool. Citation. Alright, well there we go. We managed to like, get through our level without dying. We'll get Frightful Presence next. Alright, so Damp Cave. You sense the presence of an experienced adventurer. Alright, so we got ourselves an experienced adventurer around us this time around. An unusual warlock basically says hi. We kill off this guy. And of course, there's, one of those bastards right there to kill, but it's fine. We'll save that there for a moment. Whoa, what's that? Another warlock? Yeah, another warlock. We kill that warlock easily enough. I may want to actually eat these warlocks just to get my will up a little bit, because it's actually kind of like, weak. That's the thing, right? I'm actually getting like blasted by these spells more than anything else right now, so... That might be a smart idea to sort of like, build my dragon so like, it's a little bit like strong in that sort of area. Don't want to just go for this stuff, because why not? I've just been doing it all along. So let's eat this stuff here. Whoop, we got ourselves another priest. And a shaman. And a paladin. So here's a paladin basically. We killed the paladin before like, it could get healed, so that's awesome. Let's eat the cave bear here. So that's a shaman. That's a giant rat. So he's just waiting for me down there. We'll blast you then. Hello. So here is basically a shaman. Here is basically uninjured soul. What the heck is a soul, I wonder? So soul judges you. So this must be the experience adventure, by the way. You bite Soul, Marley wounding him. I might just die here, by the way, because apparently this guy's really, really powerful. And I die. So basically that's like, the experience adventure right there. Alright, so that's basically Drakefire Chasm. And I actually got a little bit farther there. Now, a note by the way, if you basically make it to like the end of like Drakefire's Chasm here, you'll basically have like this sort of like, dungeon raid sort of like situation where like, essentially like, you're basically the giant worm, and everything's basically coming to like, kill you as like you're the boss of like the place, and they're just trying to kill you and put you down, all the adventurers. But anyhow, you basically get the idea of like, what this is basically all about. I'll know if I basically play this again, and like I say, I play this like, whatever dragons here. It's a possibility you could possibly see some more like, of the enemies basically there we can basically fight. You only saw like the rogue once, but basically you saw they basically can hide in shadows. I'll note this basically off a Death Knight, and basically the Death Knights can basically pull you in with like a dragging rope, so they basically can pull you out of position. But anyhow, that's basically like Drakefire's Cams. I think I'm happy basically showing off what I'm basically showing off here. So that's it for this one. And let's just see if it's like, this full screen action. So poop. And that's what the full screen basically looks like. I'm not sure if it looks better or worse, but whatever. Let's press it again. Alright, well, that's it for this one. Take care.